Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines.
Thousands of pro-lifers participated in the National March for Life in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada on Thursday, May 12, 2022. Due to government restrictions, the march had fewer numbers in the last 2 years. However, this year's March for Life showed larger crowds. There was police protection from a small number of counter-protesters. The crowd was addressed on Parliament Hill by several speakers. Several members of Parliament stood at front together with religious leaders. Garnet Genuis, Cathay Wagantall and Arnold Viersen were notable among civil leaders, MPs. Some Catholic bishops were present on the Hill, including Archbishop Marcel Damphus, who addressed the crowd. Ukrainian Catholic Metropolitan Andrei Sheptytsky Institute said the closing prayer. Abortion became legal in Canada on May 14, 1969. On Sunday, May 8, 2022, during Mass at the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels in Los Angeles, a disruption was initiated by anti-life protesters. The protesters wore costumes associated with the group Ruth Sent Us. This particular group encouraged people to protest Catholic Masses on Mother's Day. Several videos posted on Twitter recorded the incident. It occurred at the cathedral's 10 a.m. Mass just before Communion. Despite the disruption, the Mass continued peacefully, and they were escorted outside. The Vatican formally announced that Pope Francis will travel to Canada from July 24 to the 29th, 2022. The historic visit, focused on Indigenous healing and reconciliation, will be the fourth papal journey to Canada and the first since St. John Paul II's visit in 2002. Bishop Raymond Poisson, president of the Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops, welcomed the formal confirmation of the visit on behalf of Canada's Catholic bishops. We are immensely grateful that the Holy Father has accepted our invitation to continue the journey of healing and reconciliation with Indigenous peoples of this land. On April 1, 2022, Pope Francis apologized for the Catholic Church's role in Canada's residential school system. The Holy Father expressed sorrow and shame for the abuse and lack of respect for Indigenous identities, culture and spiritual values in the residential school system. Given the vast landscape of Canada, the limited time period for the visit and considering the health of the 85-year-old pontiff, the Vatican has announced that Pope Francis will adopt only 3 communities as a base for his Canadian visit: Edmonton, Quebec City, and Iqaluit. Edmonton is home to the second largest number of Indigenous peoples living in urban Canadian centres. Iqaluit, with close to 8,000 people, is home to the highest population of Inuit of all Canadian cities. The focus of the visit is on Indigenous healing and reconciliation. The Holy Father is expected to visit the site of a former residential school and other locations of particular significance. The U.S. bishops and the Vatican express concern over the arrest of 90-year-old Cardinal Joseph Sen in Hong Kong. The retired cardinal has been released on bail but is still vulnerable to arrest. Bishop David Malloy of Rockford and chairman of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops Committee on International Justice and Peace called for prayer and the pursuit of justice. He said, "The alarming news of the May 11 arrest in Hong Kong of Cardinal Joseph Sen Zi-Qian due to his past role in administering a humanitarian fund for protesters indicates the downward trend in respect for fundamental freedoms and human rights in Hong Kong. This steadfast pastor and strong supporter of democracy and justice was arrested along with other trustees of a fund that paid for legal and medical expenses of pro-democracy protesters, a fund that was disbanded in the fall of 2021. Because of Cardinal Zen's support for these protesters, he is being accused of collusion with foreign forces. Under the national security law imposed in June 2020, secession, subversion and collusion with foreign forces is a crime punishable with sentences of up to life imprisonment. Thus, although Cardinal Zen has been released on bail, his situation remains precarious. The Vatican's press office said Wednesday, The Holy See has learned with concern the news of Cardinal Zen's arrest and is following the evolution of the situation with extreme attention. I join with the Holy See in expressing concern for the fate of Cardinal Zen and others who share his current predicament. I invite all those of goodwill to pray for their safety and that justice may prevail. In an area of Kaduna State, Nigeria, a kidnapped priest has died after torture. Father Joseph Akate Bako, parish priest of St. John's Church in Kudenda in the local government area of Kaduna South, was kidnapped the night of the 8th of March, in an assault on the parish house, during which a person was killed. In the press release, the Archdiocese indicates he died between the 18th and 20th of April, 2022. The 48-year-old priest was taken from his residence after the bandits killed one security guard. The Chancellor, Catholic Archdiocese of Kaduna, Father Christian Okwuwu Emmanuel, who confirmed the sad development in a statement on Wednesday, May 11, 2022. Father Emmanuel Anyanwu told Catholic Charity Aid to the Church in Need, he was tortured because they were forcing him to pay a huge amount of ransom for his release. In this case, there was physical torture and beatings which caused him huge amounts of pain and agony. The Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem released a statement over death of Catholic journalist Shireen Abu Akleh. Latin Patriarch Pizzaballa sent a message of prayers and called for an urgent and thorough investigation. The 51-year-old Palestinian Christian journalist was covering the Israeli army's storming of a Jenin camp, northern West Bank, on Wednesday, when she was killed by the Israeli army, this according to eyewitnesses. One of her colleagues was also injured while performing his duty, the statement goes on to say. Shireen Abu Akleh was killed on May 11, 2022, in the morning, during an Israeli army operation in Jenin. Her death was unanimously condemned by various international figures, as well as Palestinian leaders and activists. The Israeli government and Palestinian authorities have blamed each other for her death, but a preliminary examination of the event suggests that she died from a bullet fired, perhaps intentionally, by a member of the Israeli special forces involved in the operation. She was a member of the Greek Catholic community, and lectured on media and journalism at various universities. The Christian journalist had a long career behind her, with 20 years of coverage of the Palestinian conflict. Asia News reported that Bishop Peter Wu Junwei of Yuncheng, China has died. The bishop at only 59 years old suffered a heart attack induced by work-related stress. He was consecrated a bishop in 2010, and had been approved by both the Holy See and Chinese authorities. Bishop Peter Wu Junwei of Yuncheng was of the diocese in Shanxi. He died on May 10, 2022, at 10 a.m., Beijing time. The local Catholic community has called on all the faithful to pray for him. Ordained a priest in 1990, he became bishop in 2010, dedicating himself to evangelization. Bishop Wu had been ill for some as a result of his work leading the local church, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. He was appointed by Pope Benedict XVI. He was the eldest of 6 siblings from a fervent Catholic family. One brother became a priest while a sister joined the orders. His great-uncle, Saint Peter Wu Anbang, suffered martyrdom and was canonized in 2000 as one of 120 holy Chinese martyrs.
Watch our programme every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic News World channel. God bless.
Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.